Hi ladies, this is Janessa and
Asata
of the Papyrus Book Club. We are reviewing our most recent read by Sa-Roc, The Misadventures of Awkward Black Girl. So here we go.
I like this book because she was just so honest about who she was and, just her development. Her development into womanhood. Like, some of the stories that she shared were ones that I literally was like, dang, she really put it all out there. Like, but it's cool because there were things that like I could relate to as an adolescent that I probably would never reveal to anyone. But like, it was cool that there is this different voice, and she spoke a lot about having a representation of yourself in the media and a reflection of yourself just in society. So it's cool that she wrote something that gave a voice and just a name to a probably underrepresented part of the black community, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's cool because I definitely have identified with being awkward black girl. I think we talked about it in our last conversation. Before reading this book, where I just was always the odd man out, like growing up in the hood, growing up in predominantly black DC, reading what my peers were not reading, dressing differently from my peers, listening to different music, just always on some other shit. And and I was called weird. It wasn't awkward, but it was weird. And I always felt that I didn't have, like, I always felt like I identified more with white culture, if you will, because I didn't have anything else to associate it with. You know what I mean? I didn't know any other black people who were into what I was into, except for like the people who I made connections with who went to like all white schools. So, anyway, I totally just identified with her and, like, part of her experience growing up and as an awkward black girl in the U.S.
Yeah, it was definitely a funny read, refreshingly candid read. Sally and I were just talking about how we thought it was cool that Sa-Roc is half Senegalese, and that excuse me, that part of her heritage, played a role in her not fitting in at all times, And she just spoke about growing up half Senegalese, half African, and experiencing life in Senegal, having that insight of being American, but with Senegalese family, So when she would go visit her family in Senegal, she was, in some regards, she was still seen as a cool American girl, to her cousins and they. So that was kind of cute. And then, her father was Senegalese, so he raised his children with certain Senegalese African values, and that, I'm sure, played a role in her outlook on things. Okay, so funny stories. I thought it was cute, her first boyfriend story, the Senegalese boyfriend that she had. How they were like outside a club or something and these police or like soldiers were passing by and saw them talking. I don't even think they were making out, but they were making out? Okay, yeah. So they were making out. and the soldiers and the police like stopped and pretty much like bribe them. They had to bribe them to not harass them or not report them to their families or take them to jail or, just like pursue the matter any further, That was pretty bizarre. Yeah.
In my very limited understanding of French, I was getting like scared for her because they were like, we don't do that here, like, because she was talking about the chapter was on public displays of affection or whatever, and Senegal is an Islamic country or whatever, and I was like, really? damn, they're really strict
That's
there.
right,
Like,
right. And this boyfriend who was like, no, it's cool. It's not.
Like,
It's
they're
not.
just robbing.
Right. Yeah, that was cute. And her, speaking of the whole PDA thing, she was really like adamant against it. Like how she went off on people like giving public displays of affection or making public displays of affection. I thought that was funny because she really was not feeling it. So doesn't feel it. So that was cute. What else?
And I wonder if that is really like she hit the nail on the head to me when she was just like, it's like a message like, see, look at me, look how much my boyfriend is passionate about me. Right. Like it's just like, I don't know.
Do people mean it? Like, do people really mean it that
yeah,
way? Like, I never thought of. I mean, I've seen people like really, being passionate and intimate in public. I never thought that's what their intention was. Like, but I have thought, gosh, get a room. Like I really do want to be experiencing, witnessing this right now. But I'm not sure if everybody,
I don't think everybody does, but I have seen instances where I feel like people express like their ownership over a partner by being like very overly like affectionate and stuff. Like,
okay,
he's mine or she's mine.
I can see that. Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
I thought it was interesting how like one of the first things she talked about was her name, and I think I go between saying Jope and Jop, right?
Okay.
With the pronunciation of her name, Diop, and her last name, and like that was one of the first things that kind of cemented her otherness, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think about like growing up with a unique name or African name, or something that's not like readily familiar in American culture.
Yeah.
And how automatically people look at you like, what's you name?
Right.
Like what?
Right.
Your name is what?
Like why would you? Why would you not give your children a regular name? Like, or why would your parents not have given you a regular name?
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because it's like so many times. It's kind of weird because even though the U.S. is an immigrant country, and even though the U.S. is this like immensely diverse country that has all these other so many different cultures and subsequently different names from those cultures, a lot of people can still up to this day be very close-minded when it comes to people having unusual names. Like they won't even make an effort to try to pronounce your name correctly. Like you have those who will make an effort, but most people just put up this wall. Like they're not even gonna try. Like it's just they're not gonna try.
Can I give you a nickname?
Right? Can I give you a nickname?
No, you can't. My name is Asata. 3 syllables. Very simple.
So simple. Yeah. So I thought it was cool that she addressed that.
And it could go both ways too, I guess, depending on the environment that you're in. Like in some respects, that can make you like the cool one.
That's true.
Like, oh,
that's true.
Like she said when she talked about having natural hair and an all white or mixed school, she was seen as different, unique,
exotic.
like whoa, exotic. But then when she went to the school that was predominantly black, it was like, why your hair like that? Why is your hair natural? You need to press it, or you need to do this or whatever. So yeah,
it's unfortunate.
And that's something that I've experienced too, because like when I went to public elementary school, me and Zalika, we used to wear our hair. Zalika's my sister. We used to wear our hair in short, like natural froze, and so of course, like all the kids would have like straight hair and stuff, and they would always be like, "Why don't you press your hair and pull our necks back all the way back here? If you press your hair will be all the way down here." And so like there was this kind of constant pressure to conform, and like this feeling of just being different. Like I can recall this having short hair, and I had this bully, and she, because my hair was short, like her way of bullying me was to push me out of the girls' bathroom and say that I'm not a girl, like you're a boy.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And so I hated her. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
Oh. But kids will be kids, and see, this is why I love this book so much, because like remember when she talked about I'm hopping all over the place, but there's just so many like funny parts. Remember when she talked about those girls that dissed her for in middle school
Yeah,
for having
yeah,
more natural hair
yeah.
or whatever. And then later on, like one of the girls was an actress and she reached out to her to
Right,
be a
and
part
she's
of her
like-
series. And she was like, bow to the natural interest, motherfucker. I died laughing. Oh, that was so funny.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. Oh my goodness. Yeah, but it's funny, and it's like, you know, I mean, you can say people's views. Obviously, people's views are changing now when it comes to natural hair. Black women, many of us are like totally have transformed, you know, our mentalities. But it's even with that. You had, you know, you had the trailblazers like Asanta, Zalika, you know, like I think I've worn my hair natural for majority of my life, not all my life, but the vast majority of my life. But in the Caribbean, it's a bit different, set of dynamics. But yeah, it's like people, you kind of wonder now, like the people who are so disdainful of like natural hair, people who would bully others or like scorn others for having natural hair. I wonder if they even remember, like if they, I mean, it's probably like any other topic, you know, people probably have very short memories of how wicked they were as children, you know. So yeah, but it is cool. It's refreshing that many of us are changing those very warped ways of thinking about our hair and our color, you know, our complexions and different things. Something else speaking. Oh, she was speaking of the whole color complex hair thing. She kind of touched on dating as a black girl, as an awkward black girl, and she pretty much said that even at a young age, she realized that there was a preference for a certain type of black girl. You know, like the black girls who were lighter skinned, who looked mixed, or who were mixed, you know, who had more loosely curled hair. The boys preferred those girls, you know? And I think for many black girls who grew up, you know, many dark-skinned black girls that growing up, that's something that they experience, and we experience, you know, we definitely experience seeing that there is this preference, it's this ideal, you know, and the message that's sent is that if you aren't light skinned or you don't look mixed, you know, you don't have a certain type of hair, you aren't as beautiful, you aren't as desirable, you aren't as attractive. And it's something that is really it's really poignant, and it's something that you have to either have like very strong socializing factors around, like other strong socializing factors around you, like a mother or parents who are very conscientious about, you know, instilling a sense of self-love within you, or you just have to have other things around you to reinforce your self-worth, because you will grow up questioning, you know, your beauty, your physical beauty. You know, you'll grow up questioning whether you are as pretty as, you know, another black girl, you know. And it's just it's something that even now I think we have to continue to confront. I mean, we still are in an age in which certain types are seen as more desirable, you know. And now we have on top of these internal constructs, we also have women of other races who increasingly are adopting the physical attributes of black women, you know, and pretty much black woman's beauty is being commodified and appropriated by other groups, you know. It's like, so it's like on one end, you know, you're being told that your physical traits aren't as beautiful, aren't as desirable, aren't as ideal, but then those same things that are supposedly not as cute, not as nice, not as cool, are being stolen, essentially, or claimed by other groups, and to the point of they are pretty much they're pretty much giving the impression that this is their thing now.
Yeah.
That this is their thing now.
I heard a rapper the other day say something about, he was talking about how fly this girl was, and he said she had those Kylie Jenner lips. And I was like, it made me so infuriated that, you know,
Are you serious?
I mean, the world knows that she has lip injections, and, you know, full lips are an attribute, a natural attribute of, you know, African women. And while those typically are not celebrated, you know, here they are being celebrated and attributed to, you know, this young white girl. So it was just, that was just like a perfect example of what you're saying. Yeah, it's just, it's frustrating. Like, you want, you know, all the beauty of blackness and the flyness of blackness with none of the oppression that goes along with it.
Exactly.